Hello student, in last class we have introduced about two things, that is composition of functions and evaluation of inverse. Evaluation of inverse we have not evaluated any of the sums, so today in the same order we are going to move. So for a composition of two function we have attended question number 4, in which first part we have discussed. And in that first part you have seen that composition of f to f, it is a function itself. Now here your function was available as fx 4x plus 3 upon 6x minus 4. Here we are going to evaluate f inverse. Now how this f inverse is going to be evaluated? There are some steps to find out the inverse of any of the functions, so that we are going to follow here. So first of all, pick up your fx as such given, and normally fx value we write as a y. Now make it cross multiply, and here x we are going to define in terms of y, and that further we will check also. So here you see 4x plus 3 is equal to y 6x minus 4. This is 4x plus 3 6xy minus 4y. Here x term you get combined, y term or constant you get combined. So in order to that this 4y we are going to shift here, and this x term shift over there. So it is 6xy minus 4x, and this will be shifting over here 3 plus 4y. Position I have changed of the term. Here x is to be taken common. This is 6x minus 4y plus 3. Here x will be 4y plus 3 upon 6 of y minus 4. So this way, this x you have evaluated in terms of y. What it was in the beginning, that fx it was your y. Both the side operate your inverse, so it will be x f inverse of y. So you can say what the x you have evaluated in terms of y, that is only the f inverse of the given one. So here f inverse of the y, if you write, this will give you 4y plus 3 upon 6y minus 4. If you compare the whole expression with the given function, you will find only the variable is changed. In place of y you are having x, or you can say in the main function in place of x you have generated y. So you can say that f inverse of the given function is the function itself. So when your composition with the self is coming with the given function form, so at that time you can conclude that inverse will be also same as a given function form. Now there are some steps which are to be followed when you are going for evaluation of inverse when function is already defined. So normal case, when you are going for defining any of the inverse of any function, two conditions are to be checked. First is a 1-1 and another is onto. In some of the question, same thing we are going to discuss and write the same step. There are certain theoretical steps that we have to write. In last exercise we have to we check out whether your function was a 1-1 many one. So conceptual we have discussed about the solution of given function, but there are some steps to write. So today we are going to discuss that step for writing 1-1 and onto, and then only the inverse will exist. Before that we are going to move for question number 5, in which a direct ordered pair are available, and you have to check whether the inverse will be existed there or not. So basic condition for existence of inverse is it should be 1-1 as well as onto. So that we will check on basis of given order pair. So let's move towards the first part, question number 5. In fifth question, you have to check whether the function of the given inverse of the given function is possible or not. Here your first question is defined as a function from a set 1, 2, 3, 4 to a single element, that is 10. An ordered pair as a function, it is written as a 110, 210, 310 and 410. Here from the given question frame, it is very clear that this function is not a 1, 1, because you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. All 4 values are going to map on a single value, that is 10. So in this case, your function can be considered as a many one, and if your function is many one, it can't be onto in normal cases. There are some exceptional cases in which it is possible, but in our case this is not possible. So here your function is many one, therefore f inverse will not exist. So this way you have to conclude on basis of a given ordered pair. So try to go for the another two. As in the second part, your combination is available as a function g, in which your function is being defined from 1, 2, 6, 7, this 5, 6, 7, 8 to 1, 2, 3, 4. An ordered pair regarding your g available as 5, 4, 6, 3, 7, 4 and 8, 2. Here also, if you look at this ordered pair carefully, you will find for these two combination, 5 and 7 are mapped to a single value, that is 4. And here this 1 is not a part of your this G group, so it is going to be remain as such. So it is not fulfill the basic criteria for onto. So here you can say this G function is many one. Second thing also, range of your G is not same as a given set. So it is not equal to, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So on combining these two criteria, it is not possible to find it out F inverse. So not possible to evaluate F inverse. So this way you have to decide about the solution form. Now look at the third one. In third one, your h function is being defined from one set containing element 2, 3, 4 and 5, and it is mapped to 7, 9, 11 and 13. Your h function is being defined as 2, 7, 3, 9, 4, 11 and 5, 13. So for this ordered pair, you can say each element of the domain means 2 mapped to 7, 3 mapped to 9, 4 mapped to 11 and 5 is having its image as a 13. So 1-1 correspondence is going to be existed there, no many-one combination. So basic criteria fulfill here, that your h is 1-1. So first is your h is 1-1 function. Second thing, you have to check it out whether it is a onto. So here you can say range of your function h is same as a given range form, means range as such you are getting as an answer from 7, 9, 11 and 13. So here you can say range of f is also same as a required, this is a codomain. That means your h inverse will exist there. So this way, on basis of the given ordered pair, you can say that your inverse is possible or not. Now we are going to discuss some question in which function is being defined. First we have to check whether it is a 1-1 onto or not, and then we will evaluate the inverse form of that. And normally such type of question are asked in exams. Now next we are moving for question number 6, in which you have to show that function defined from closed interval -1 to 1 and it's mapped to R. Your fx is available as x upon x plus 2. First of all, you have to check whether this function is a 1 1, and then we have to find out f inverse. Now first we will go for 1 1. As I told you that there are certain steps which are to be used to write given function as a 1 1. So stepwise we are going to move. Basically in this range, if you will check, you will get the answer in terms of R. So regarding the each value which is lying in between -1 to 1, answer you will get definitely in R. So it will be considered as a 1 1. Theoretically it is clear, but stepwise if you are going to write how it can be written, that we understand. Now here stepwise if you are going to write, first of all your function you write. Meaning of the 1 1 is what? Regarding one value you are having only single image, means for single value in your range you will have a single answer as fx1. So here we are going to suppose two values x1 and x2 in your domain area and try to find out that both are same, these are not distinct one. So these are the steps we have to write for 1 1. So here x1 and x2 you have to select from the given domain form such that fx1 is equal to fx2. Now we will prove that your x1 and x2 are same. Now here fx1 means the whole function you will write in terms of x1. So it is x1 upon x1 plus 2. This whole you will write in terms of x2, means x2 plus 2. Make them sort out for further solution, means cross multiplication. So x1, x2 plus 2, x2, x1 plus 2. Make them multiply. x1, x2 plus 2x1. This is again x1, x2 plus 2x2. Here you can see x1, x2 cut. 2x1 is equal to 2x2. 2 to further cut. So you are getting x1 as a x2. So this is a basic criteria to fulfill given function as a 1 1, means x1 and x2 both are same for you are getting the same function values. So here we can conclude that your fx is 1 1 function. So this way steps are to be right. Now to find out the f inverse, you have to find it out first whether this is onto or not. So the steps we have written in question number 4, same we have to write. So here now for onto, first of all your function is available as this one. It is to be supposed as a y. Make it cross multiply. So x is equal to x plus 2 into y. Further this is 2y and this is xy. What we have done in the previous case, x we write in terms of y and that will be considered as a inverse of that. So here x you make combined, so it will be x minus xy, that is 2y. So this is x common, 1 minus y, that is 2y. X will be separate out as 2y upon 1 minus y. Direct you can write this one as a inverse, but before writing direct we have to check out that whether this x value will give you again y or not. Then after at last we will make it conclude. So here your fx is available as x upon x plus 2. That means x in terms of y you will write here, means 2y upon 1 minus y upon 2y upon 1 minus y plus 2. Go for taking LCM. This is 2y 1 minus y. This is 2y. On taking LCM 1 minus y, it will give you 1 minus y. This is cut. 2y upon make it multiply by 2. This is cut. 2y upon 2 means finally you are getting as a y. So what we can conclude here that fx is equal to y. So your f inverse y is equal to x. So f inverse means what we have written as a 2y upon 1 minus y. So this way it will give you the inverse of given function, or in general if you are going to write f inverse of x, all the y term you write in terms of x as a 2x upon 1 minus y. So there are 3 steps to write inverse of that. So first of all, you suppose you are given as a y means range form. Then you find out the x in terms of y. Then go for verification whether this one is correct. In some of the cases you will not get the same. That's why we have to check it out. Now this x you will write in terms of the given expression. You will get 99% get you will this y again. So it is sure that what the function you have derived in terms of y, that will be only the inverse of the given function form. So this way all the questions are to be handled in order to find out inverse of given function. So let's try to attend one more, that is your question number 8. Such type of question normally asked in the exam, find out inverse of that. In this chapter, limited questions are to be asked. Check whether the functions are equivalent or not. Secondly, check 1-1 onto form. Normally question based on 1-2 or on-1 form are going to be asked in a MCQ, and this is the third category, means find out the inverse of a given function. One more we have to discuss, that is the binary operation, that only normally asked in a MCQ form. Evaluate identity terms, evaluate inverse element, like that. So 4-5 points are there in this chapter which are important from examination point of view. And even 1-1 onto function in a combined form as an injective, as a surjective, as a bijective form, it can be asked in MCQ. So be clear about the concept of the individual. Now we look at one more form in which inverse is to be found it out. Your function is being defined from R2 interval 4 to infinite, and your fx is available as x square plus 4. Here we have to find it out f inverse. So first of all, go for checking of basic condition. First of all, 1-1. Every time it will not be asked separately in the question that you find out 1-1 or onto condition satisfy. You have to find out at your own level, and then at last you will find out f inverse. Direct don't go for evaluation of f inverse. Now let's start with the basic one, x1, x2, which are belongs to your domain, means R, such that fx1 is equal to fx2. Now here fx1 means the whole function you will write in terms of x1 and x2. Your 4 cut, x1 square is equal to x2 square. On taking square root, x1 is equal to x2. So this is a basic criteria for being function as a 1-1. So your f is 1-1. Secondly, you will move for onto. So here for onto, fx you will consider as a y. What the fx is available? X square plus 4 is equal to y. Now x you will write in terms of y as x square, y minus 4, x is under root y minus 4. Now checking of your basic criteria, means this x we will write over here. F of x we have taken as this one, so x you will write as a f inverse of y. So here your fx you will write as x means under root y minus 4, your term is being square, plus 4. Square root and square both will remove here. So here you are getting this one is a y. So your x is your f inverse y. So f inverse you can write as a under root y minus 4. So here inverse of f, that is f inverse y, you can write as under root y minus 4, or in general f inverse x you are going to write, that will also be considered as a correct form. So normally this is to be right. In some of the cases this also you can write, both will be considered as a correct answer form. So this way you can attend a question from the exercise 1.3. Now we are going to move for question number 11, in which again function is being defined in terms of a set. So inverse of inverse we have to find it out. So let's move towards that one more category based on inverse. In 11th question, your function is being defined from set 1, 2, 3 to a set containing 3 elements, alphabets A, B, C, in which F1 is available as A, F2 is available as B, F3 is available as C. Now first we have to find F inverse, and then you have to show that F inverse of inverse is F itself. So it contains two parts. So first of all we will write F inverse on basis of the given function form. So first of we start with the F1a. If you are going to define inverse, means in reverse order, as your function is being defined from 1, 2, 3 to A, B and C. When you are going to define your inverse, means in reverse order you have to find out the image. Means as a domain you will use A, B, C. As a range you will find 1, 2 and 3. So here if you are going to find out F inverse of F, definitely it will give you answer as a 1. Operate inverse on both the side, it will give you the answer form. Next, F2 is available as a B. Here if you are going to write inverse of this B, you will get 2. And if you write third one, F inverse of C, this will give you 3. So this way your F inverse will define from A, B, C set to 1, 2 and 3. So here you can say your F inverse will exist as domain A, B, C, and range it will come out with 1, 2 and 3. If you write your F inverse in a ordered pair form, it will give you ordered pair as a A1, B2 and C3. So this way any of the form it can be asked to you, you can write as per the required form. Now next we have to find out inverse of the inverse, means as your F inverse is being defined from A, B, C to 1, 2, 3. Further if you want to write inverse of that, so obviously again you will move towards the same form. It means here the domain will be 1, 2, 3 and range you will have as A, B and C. So if you will write, obviously inverse of inverse will give you F. So inverse of inverse if you will define, it will be defined from 1, 2, 3 to A, B and C. So here again for each case if you are going to define the inverse, definitely you will have a F of 1 as A, inverse of this one. If you write inverse of that, definitely it will give you answer as A form. So this will map to your A. So here F1 will give you F2 will give you B, and same way F3 will give you C. So this way you can define your inverse of the inverse function. So as we write complement of the complement, again you are getting the same term. Inverse of any of the inverse, again you are getting the same term. So here also the same. If you write inverse of any given inverse function, you are getting the same function. So this way different type of combination you can handle based on function. Now here we are going to introduce one more thing, that is the binary operation. That is also one kind of function, but writing in some quite different manner. Now here we try to define binary operation and try to understand which are the property associated with binary operation. So the next topic we are going to discuss is binary operation. A binary operation normally any of the binary operation we represent by a star. So a binary operation on any set is a function. How it can be defined? This is a binary operation you can define such that domain will contain ordered pair A cross A, means of any set it will be defined. So A cross A, it will map to A in such a way that your A order B will belongs to your binary operation. Means what you can say that what the domain you are going to write, it will be available in your ordered pair form, and answer you will get in form of a single answer form. It may be A or B. So this is a basic definition of a binary operation. How it can be expressed? Suppose this is a binary operation you have defined on the A to B. So this way any of the relation you can define, and you can say that binary operation is defined on R. Means in general anything you can take as a and B, which you can select from your set R. Now there are some property associated with your binary operation, so just look at them. So here first property, it is commutative, means A operate on B, it will be same as B operate on A. So in that case your binary operation will consider as a commutative. Secondly, associative. So as in the set form we are having associative property, here also you will have the same combination here. So it will be associative. Third and the important task is the existence of identity element. So that we will evaluate. Identity element normally for addition and multiplication we are having identity, just for addition we are having the identity as a 0. For multiplication as a identity we are having as a 1. So here also one identity element we have to find out, which can be considered in such a way that if we operate on any of the element, again we produce the same element. So this is the relation you have to maintain for evaluation of identity element. Normally E letter we use for identity element. It is to be evaluated on basis of this relation. In place of B you will write E. Here also the same element it will be. So on making them interlinked with each other, E will be separate out. For existence of the identity element, it is compulsory that it maintain your commutative law with the defined binary operation in between A and B. So that you have to check it out. Sometime it is not going to fulfill, so that identity element will not be existed there. Now the last is existence of inverse. So inverse element, inverse element means as a inverse you will use for writing inverse of A. So normally as a inverse we write additive inverse, means A minus A will give you identity element. So here also the same, A binary with B, that will give you identity element. Here your B is nothing, it is inverse of A. So A operate with your A inverse, we must have E. So A will available to you, E will available to you. So on basis of that B we will find out as a inverse. So the main part of such type of question is evaluation of the identity element and evaluation of inverse element. So in next class we will discuss more about this binary operation.